So we have to talk about this. We have a seasoned aviation expert, Captain Adosanusi, MD Aero Contractors. He joins us in the studio. Thank you very kindly, as some of my people would say, for joining us in the studio. It's a serious matter, but let's see how we can get all this on course, Ayo.
If you don't mind me during the first shot, the aviation sector, Captain, has been under some measure of scrutiny. Aviators like yourself, some of you guys think it's rightly so. Some think the aviation sector is under unjust or unfair scrutiny in some cases, and definitely it doesn't get any easier given that it's reputed to be one of the safest in the world, yet one of the most technical, the most delicate, heavily regulated. What are the things we don't know that we need to understand about aviation? Maybe that will help people understand why their attention is so intense.
Well, we have to put attention, we have to put the searchlight on aviation because any crash, any incident, any accident, brings up a headline news. And we must strive to be safe. I mean, safety is non-negotiable, it's the fundamental values of aviation. So when you read about the USOP audit, that is the Universal Safety Oversight audit that we scored 71, and I made very clear in several interviews that Nigeria should not celebrate, despite the fact that people think 71 is a good pass mark, but it is actually a sign that the Nigerian aviation safety oversights, or all the audits elements in that safety oversight, it's been threatened, and then things must be done to address that.
What should have been the number?
It should be between 75 to 80. Yeah. Now, again, we don't want to set a low standard. I would have said a 90, 95 would be something that I'll be comfortable with, and aspiring to get to 100%. Yeah. Innovation is 100%, because when you buy your ticket, you want to be 100% sure you're going to get to your destination.
So what makes us vulnerable then?
So there's a couple of factors. First and foremost is that in the aviation industry, we tend, especially recently, and which is bothering me, is we tend to celebrate things that are not supposed to be celebrated. I mean, things that are not in any way safety related. And we have systematically over the years removed ourselves from addressing this safety audit findings to something very mundane, So that is why you see so many attentions. If we have, as an industry, stakeholders pay more attention on those items that we scored very low, which is air navigation, infrastructure, and the rest of them. And also those that we've scored high, if we still keep correcting them and getting better results on them, then probably the entire searchlight would not have been that much. But I believe the whole thing that is coming is symptoms of a very sick industry that needs attention.
So what then do you make of is there validity in the attention of the Senate?
So again, that's why I say we celebrate things wrongly. I mean, the Senate came in and took over, I would say, took over the responsibility of the regulator. I mean, you can imagine Senate Committee on Aviation, with all respect to them, they have the oversight rights and all that, but they cannot say they have cleared an airline. So it's like Senate Committee on Finance saying they have cleared a bank. You don't do that. There is a regulator that does that. Senate is to make legislations and do an oversight on the industry, not to be clearing airlines. So those altercations or those things that come out of the Senate send very wrong signal to the aviation industry and to the stakeholders, to the airlines, and even to international community. When a Senate committee sits down and says, okay, let's take, for instance, the problem of the overrun that happened in Port Harcourt. The Nigerian Investigation Safety Board, which is the NSIB, is the authority, agency that is responsible for investigation. They came and said a pilot or the crew had drug issues. I don't think we should sweep it all down the carpet or just say no. I think we should investigate further. But what happened later degenerated all the way to the Senate. I mean, in a normal climate, when an investigation is carried out and such kind of alteration is said, a full investigation should be done, and the root cause should be identified and make amends to it.
So that has not been done?
No, that has not been done.
You see that happening eventually?
Well, I hope so. I pray that happens, because you know the Safety Investigation Bureau made an allegation that this is what they found in their investigation. The Nigerian Civil Aviation said it's not correct. The Senate now came and cleared everything. I think there is something missing. If there was this allegation, if we feel that there is supposed to be an investigation or it's not true, I think the best thing to do is to set up a committee, an independent committee, to do an investigation to find out where, if NSIB was wrong or if NCA was wrong, to find out exactly where it is. It is extremely important that we get it right, because these are heavy allegations. There was an overrun. Thank God nobody died, but then there was also an allegation of substance abuse. So then there shouldn't have been, oh, it's not true, or it's true. There should be a systematic and analytic way of finding out what exactly happened and addressing the root cause of it.
Are you concerned, you know, I mean, we have these discussions, is the fact that there's possibility, a lot of possibilities of it happening, they being cleared, or what have you. But are you concerned about these incidents on, you know, in the Nigerian airspace, so let me call it, where crew members are actually accused of substance abuse, which compromises safety of passengers? Are you concerned that it could actually, there could be a probability that it could really be happening and maybe nobody notices, that people are just found out at this point?
So over my 30 plus years of flying, what we have seen is it's very unlikely. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, and I say it's very unlikely, so it can happen. But we are subject to rigorous drug and alcohol tests, sometimes random, sometimes scheduled, sometimes you go for your medicals and you have to do that. Now, having said that, yes, there are people that abuse substance. Yes, there are mental health. I mean, these are things that happen in societies. So if this thing happened in the aviation field, I think we should pay more attention to check what exactly happened. Even if it is an allegation, we should find the root cause of that allegation. As the saying goes, there is no smoke without fire. So why don't we find out exactly what happened and then make amends to it?
Is there a place for the AON in this? Because it's one of your members. The operator is one of the members of the AON. And if there is an accusation of one, do you think there is something that, be it surreptitiously, that the AON could have come out to say, guys, we know the sector. the Senate may not know or understand this sector, but we know the sector. Let's leave politics aside. This is something that is smeared the industry, our operations, and we should do some findings among ourselves. Do you see a role like that?
No, I don't look at it that way. I believe we have a regulator in the industry that is that should come out and actually say, look, this is what we do, and I believe they did. But I don't think it is enough, because after they did, the Senate took it over. Because if the regulator came out very forcefully and said, look, this is what we do, and this is what we, and the airline comes out and say, yeah, we have a drug and alcohol test and all that. But all this haven't been said and done. I think we should have come out to do a real exercise. Let's say even a random drug and alcohol test for everybody.
I apologize. So what do you think informed the intervention of the Senate, if it is not as technical or functional as it ought to be? Because there are those who would begin, from what you are saying, being an expert, there are those who would see it more as a political decision as opposed to a technical, a professional, and operational one.
Yeah, probably the Senate came out of to make an announcement on it, because probably one of their senators said drug and alcohol is a normal thing in aviation. So probably that is it. I don't know why they came to do that, but I think that was it. But the main thing is we are missing the point. The NSIB made an allegation. The NCAA said no, it's not true. And we, as a country, I think we should have, or the ministry or anybody in the government should have suggested that we should have an independent body to look at all the allegations and bring it out, because they are hefty allegations. And it will smear the Nigerian aviation internationally. I mean, it quite saddened me to feel that the Senate said they cleared the airline or they cleared but the agency is keeping quiet, you know. So it's and
we haven't heard the minister either.
Yeah, so everybody is quiet, and we are thinking that it's life continues. And tomorrow they want us to celebrate bringing airplanes into the country, declining of transportation. Or we celebrate Cape Town Convention. We are scoring 70 in Cape Town Convention. But if you go practically to get an airplane leased into Nigeria, those are these small things that they will be thinking, do you have a very good oversight? Yeah. So if I give you my equipment, is there going to be an oversight, a real oversight, or drug addicts are going to be flying my airplane?
Right, and you know, be that as it may, I think you mentioned some of these things before. You talked about why can't we up the game to about 95 to 100%. Even though Nigeria scored 71%, what are your thoughts about, you know, Nigeria's aviation safety as at now, regardless of the score?
So there is tremendous room for improvement. I mean, we have come a long way. Yes, we have to say that. Yes, we are not there yet, and we have done a lot of improvement in where we are. So there are room for improvements. And there is, of course, infrastructure, navigational aids, regulations. We need to be more practical about the regulation. We need to look at what is happening. More oversight, on safety oversight. And you have to understand the airlines are in such a way of like self-regulating. And then the regulator is overseeing what they're doing. So Nigerian aviation is safe. Don't get me wrong, it's quite safe. But we have some symptoms that we must address. We don't want the aviation industry to be unsafe before we address those risk items that we are looking at. And this scores is part of the telltale signs that it shows that the Nigerian aviation has an issue to be resolved.
Right.
Well,
At the time.
We can't stop. From time to time, we have to talk about these issues. Captain Ado Sanusi, MD, Aero Contractors, we appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
And wish you the best. It's interesting, Joke, that many times when we're talking about aviation, we only talk about when anyone is going to fly, looking about your comforts. Do I have enough leg space, enough cargo time? No one is really looking at all these issues that these aviators, what's their own? Just to do the thing. I want to get to where I'm going safe and sound.
Exactly.